So you want to talk about Hungary? Well, get ready for a journey through time. Buckle up, because this isn't your average European vacation brochure. Hungary is a land steeped in history, culture, and a few surprises. Nestled in the heart of Europe, Hungary's got more history than a used bookstore bargain bin. From ancient times to modern days, every corner of this country tells a story. Seriously, this place has seen it all. From the Roman Empire to the Ottoman invasions, and everything in between. We're talking way back, like before GPS and even indoor plumbing. Imagine living in a time when the wheel was a groundbreaking invention. Back then, nomadic tribes roamed around, probably wondering why someone hadn't invented the wheel yet. These tribes were the early settlers, living off the land and moving with the seasons. Then, boom, enter the Magyars in the 9th century. These fierce warriors changed the course of Hungarian history forever. These guys rode in on horseback from the east, probably singing some ancient version of Born to be Wild. They were skilled horsemen and formidable fighters. They liked the look of the place, the rolling hills, the thermal baths, more on those later, and decided to stay. The landscape was perfect for their way of life, thus, Hungary as we kinda sorta know it was born. The Magyars laid the foundations for a nation that would endure through centuries of change. And let me tell you, it's been a wild ride ever since. From medieval battles to modern revolutions, Hungary's history is as dynamic as its landscape. Now the Middle Ages get a bad rap. Sure, hygiene wasn't great, but in Hungary things were actually popping. We're talking kings, queens, castles, the whole 9 yards. Stephen I, the first king of Hungary, decided Christianity was the way to go. Good PR move, Steve. This helped put Hungary on the map, literally. They even had their own currency, which, knowing medieval exchange rates, was probably worth about 3 chickens and a goat. This period wasn't all sunshine and roses though. The Mongols decided to pay a visit in the 13th century, and let's just say they weren't there for the strudel. It was a rough time, but hey, it builds character, right? And it gave Hungary one hell of an origin story. Fast forward a few centuries and who should show up? The Ottomans, that's who. They were like that friend who drops by unannounced and then overstays their welcome by, about 150 years. The Ottomans were all about that expansion life, and Hungary, smack dab in the middle of everything, was prime real estate. They brought coffee, which, let's be honest, was a major win. But they also brought, the whole being ruled by a sultan thing. Hungary was split in two, one part under Habsburg rule, the other under the Ottomans. It was a real whose line is it anyway situation, except the points didn't matter and the stakes were incredibly high. Section 4. The Habsburgs move in. It's complicated, like a brunch order. With the Ottomans finally out of the picture, it was time for the Habsburgs to make their move. The Ottoman Empire, once a formidable force, had been gradually losing its grip on its territories. This power vacuum created the perfect opportunity for the Habsburgs to step in and expand their influence. The Habsburgs, you see, were like the collectors of Europe. They had a knack for acquiring lands and titles, often through strategic marriages and alliances. Their family tree was a complex web of connections that spanned across the continent. They collected land like other people collect stamps, and Hungary was the shiny new addition to their album. This acquisition wasn't just about land, it was about power, prestige, and influence. The Habsburgs were building an empire, one piece at a time. This kicked off the Austro-Hungarian Empire, a union about as stable as a two-legged stool. The empire was a patchwork of different cultures, languages, and traditions, all held together by a fragile political structure. It was a time of economic growth, cultural exchange, and enough political intrigue to make your head spin. Markets thrived, arts flourished, and there was a constant exchange of ideas and goods. Yet, beneath this vibrant surface, tensions simmered. Imagine trying to order brunch with 18 different people who all speak different languages. Each person has their own preferences, dietary restrictions, and opinions on what makes the perfect meal. Now scale that up to an entire empire. That was the Austro-Hungarian Empire in a nutshell. A melting pot of cultures and languages, where communication was a daily challenge and unity was a constant struggle. But all good, or complicated things must come to an end. The cracks in the empire's foundation began to show, and the pressures of maintaining such a diverse and sprawling entity became too much to bear. And for the Austro-Hungarian Empire, that end came with the shot heard round the world, literally, in Sarajevo in 1914. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand set off a chain of events that would plunge Europe into one of its darkest periods. Spoiler alert, it wasn't pretty. The Great War, as it was known, brought unprecedented destruction and upheaval, forever changing the landscape of Europe and marking the end of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Section 5, World War I and II, seriously bad timing twice. The 20th century. The age of technological marvels, penicillin, and oh yeah, two devastating world wars. Hungary, unfortunately, found itself on the wrong side of history and the losing team in both. World War I saw the Austro-Hungarian Empire crumble faster than a stale croissant. Hungary lost a huge chunk of its territory which, as you can imagine, did not spark joy. Then, just when things couldn't get much worse, World War II rolled in like a particularly nasty hangover. Hungary, hoping to regain some lost land, sided with the Axis powers. Let's just say it didn't go according to plan. Again. The lesson here? Stick to neutrality, Hungary. Or, maybe invest in a really good crystal ball. Section 6. Communism. The sequel nobody asked for. After World War II, exhausted and still picking up the pieces, Hungary found itself under the watchful eye of the Soviet Union. Communism had arrived, and it brought with it all the joys of a 5-year plan and a distinct lack of freedom. Imagine trying to order a pizza with extra pepperoni, but the government tells you you're only allowed mushrooms. That was life under communist rule. But the Hungarian spirit is a resilient one. In 1956, they staged an uprising against Soviet rule. It was brutally crushed, but the desire for freedom never died. Finally, in 1989, the Iron Curtain fell, and Hungary took its first tentative steps towards democracy. Section 7, Hungary today. Goulash, the euro, and finding its way. Hungary, a land of rich history and vibrant culture, is a fascinating blend of the old and the new. From its iconic parliament building standing proudly by the Danube, to the mouth-watering goulash that warms the soul, Hungary is a country that has much to offer. Today, Hungary is a member of the European Union, NATO, and most importantly, has amazing goulash. Walking through the streets of Budapest, you can feel the pulse of a nation that is both deeply rooted in its traditions and eagerly embracing modernity. The NATO flag fluttering alongside the EU flag is a testament to Hungary's strategic alliances and its commitment to international cooperation. They've traded in the hammer and sickle for a slightly confusing relationship with the euro. They're part of the EU but haven't adopted the currency. This duality is a reflection of Hungary's complex journey through history. The remnants of the Soviet era are still visible, yet the country is forging ahead, navigating its unique path within the European Union. It's a country still grappling with its past, balancing its national identity with its place in a globalized world. Cultural events and national symbols are celebrated with fervor, showcasing Hungary's pride in its heritage. The Budapest cityscape, with its blend of modern and historical elements, is a visual representation of this ongoing balancing act. It's a country with a rich history, beautiful architecture, and thermal baths that will make you say, "Ah," in about 12 different languages. The thermal baths, a legacy of the Ottoman era, are a unique feature that draws tourists from all over the world, offering a relaxing escape amidst the hustle and bustle of city life. So there you have it. Hungary, a country that's been conquered, divided, and reborn more times than a superhero in a comic book. Its history is a tapestry of conflicts and triumphs, each chapter adding to the resilience and character of the nation. It's a country with a past that's both turbulent and triumphant, and a future that's still being written. The juxtaposition of historical and modern images highlights the dynamic nature of Hungary, a country that honors its past while looking forward to a promising future. Just maybe skip the mushrooms on that pizza, yeah? And while you're enjoying the culinary delights, remember that Hungary is a place where history and modernity coexist, creating a unique and unforgettable experience for all who visit.